Manx Radio's Countryside is brought to you by NFU Mutual.
Hello and welcome to this week's Countryside here on Manx Radio. I'm Simon Clark.
And I'm Kirree. Last week I popped along to Ballaquaggin to see the ploughing.
And I catch up with the Secretary of the Isle of Man Federation of Young Farmers to find out what's in store for the future and also looking ahead, hopefully, to this year's 2021 Young Farmers Concert. Well, first of all, Kirree, it was a difficult subject last week on the programme to do with mental health, particularly in the agricultural world, and it was great to get an email response from Ross Bailey, who is the mental health head of mental health on the island here for the government. So it was nice to get a response from Ross, and just looking ahead to this, because I think you had a few people that was chatting to you as well, and maybe we can go a little bit further on this, little bit more information available where people can get information.
That's right. Mental health awareness is always a tricky topic, but it's been great response. Emails, text messages, Facebook messages, all to the Countryside programme to say we covered it well, which is always great. But if we can help just one person, that is all that matters to us. And to have Ross Bailey reach out and say that they're there to help here on the Isle of Man, that is absolutely fantastic. And same with the Benevolent Fund Trust as well. These people are here to help our locals. So I think this is the beginning of something very good, and hopefully the support will come.
Yeah, it's been difficult times for everyone, but in certain areas of employment and things, it can be hit the hardest with a lot of lone working and things like that, isn't there?
Isolation is always hard, and like we've mentioned about the COVID restrictions, lockdown, and here we are again on the Isle of Man in a tricky position, whether we're going to lockdown or not. But the support is there if it's needed, and if we can just drop a text to our friends and neighbours and just keep an eye on everyone.
It is. Indeed, and nothing wrong with a tricky position or two. And one other thing I wanted to mention was the weather. Finally, some farmers, this will hopefully cheer them up a bit, because, the amount of mud and slop that's in the fields, it's just unbelievable.
It really is, Simon. It's been some years. Since August, when they were trying to get the harvest done, it was touch and go then to gather the corn and the straw. Some of the crops were absolutely decimated and didn't get cropped at all. But now the sun has finally come, a good few months later, and very welcomed indeed, especially by the farmers that are lambing. They've got sheep indoors waiting to get them out, and now they can turn them out and get the sun on the lambs' backs.
It is great stuff. Right, well, it's been that sort of time of year where a bit of ploughing has gone on, because people are ploughing, but they certainly have plenty of competitions around the Isle of Man, and it's one of them areas of agriculture that's been an art and, what's the word I'm looking for here, a little bit of sort of inside competition and rivalry between ploughmen in the past, certainly, hasn't it? I think now it's a bit more get it done and get it over with. Let's move on.
Well, you say that. I still think there is quite a lot of rivalry there. I popped along to Ballaquaggin, which is just across the road from us there in Ballasalla, where Jeff Farger has his farm. And I caught up with some of the boys taking part, and ladies. And firstly, I spoke to Nicola Rawnsley with the horses. Well, Nicola, a bit better weather for this week's plough match here at Ballaquaggin and Ballasalla. And how are these pair big beauties going?
They're going quite well. Duke's getting a little bit warm because it's obviously quite a warm day today, so I'll give him a bit of a clip this week, I think.
Lovely.
Get some hair off him.
Spring is in the air then?
Definitely. It's actually quite warm. I've took my hat off today, which is a first for the ploughing season this year.
That's it, and it's not raining as well, which makes all the difference.
No, yeah, the one at Kirree, that actually trying to snow up there, and it was bitterly cold, so it's quite nice to be ploughing in the warm and dry. And
will you get round on all of the ploughing through the winter months?
We try to, yes. We've done every match so far this year. Currently we're the only horse ploughing team, unfortunately, but I'm hoping the tram horses will come back soon.
Yeah. And it's lovely to see these pair in action, so well behaved. Does it take a lot of practice?
Yeah, they have took a bit of training, but Duke's now 20, Elle's 12. So we keep them ticking over at home most of the winter.
And will you have to be together to plough, or can you go single horse as well?
Well, with ours you need 2 because they're a little bit smaller. But if you sometimes watch us when I'm really being competitive, we'll take one horse off at the end and do just with one horse so it doesn't spoil the work we've done.
And how is the work looking today? Because it's been terribly wet and the ground has been shockingly wet. So how is it turning over?
It's turning over really well. It's ploughing lovely. We've just measured up and we're 20 inches out. I don't know how, which is 2 furrows. So I don't know how that's happened. But
Golly! So now what to rectify it?
a few half furrows, which spoil the appearance. I'll lose marks for, but we'll get it done.
And now who's to blame for this?
I'm not sure. I don't think I've been 20 inches out all day. I've not been quite straight, but I'd accept 4 or 5, but 20 inches is a bit much. But
And will that just occur just generally as you're going through the ploughing, or is it just the lay of the land, or how does it happen?
it's probably a bit of both. Some of it will be my fault because I've not been straight today. They did say at the start that we might not be parallel, but we've all measured and it was parallel, so something's gone wrong somewhere.
Goodness me. Oh well, there'll be a few more to go, I suppose.
Yeah, there's the Cronknavody one on the 6th of March. 13th of March there's Cronknavody as well. That's the horse ploughing championships. That's out at Ballaquaggin. And the 24th of April, very late in the year, is the Manxdale match out near St John's, and that's 24th of April.
So let's hope it'll be a little bit drier then for you, Nicola.
Yeah.
But you'll be taking these pair gorgeous ones.
Probably, yeah.
And looking out the back there, behind the plough, there's somebody with a measuring tape now. This man can't go unnoticed.
No, this is my husband David. We work as a team. If you watch horse ploughmen across, they're driving their own horses. It's a skill I've never been able to master. So he is a key part of the team as well.
No, lovely. Well, anyway, I better let you get finished and tidied up. Judging soon, I suppose.
Yes, it will be, yeah.
Well, Dave, I believe that you're quite a newcomer to ploughing.
Well, relatively, considering some of the old boys that are here, yeah. This is my 2nd year at it, and yeah, absolutely love it.
Really? How did you get involved?
Well, I'm Marie myself, we just came watching the previous year, and the old boys sort of dragged us in, had a yarn on us, and good bit of food and all that, and one thing led to another, and here I am. So.
Right. And how's today going for you?
Oh yeah, not bad. Yeah, it's dry. The sun's out. I mean, that's the main thing. Yeah.
It definitely does make a difference.
It was a shocker yesterday, wasn't it? So.
Serious.
Yeah.
So what would you have learnt from last year now coming into your 2nd year of it?
Oh, do you know what? You're learning every time you plough. You're learning. Sort of. I think it's like a 5-year apprenticeship. This. Yeah. Nothing goes quick. So you just got to. If you learn one thing every week, then you're doing all right, sort of thing. Yeah.
Chip away at it.
Chip away at it. Yeah.
And how do you think today's gone here? Looks relatively good.
It's all right, isn't it? Yeah. Again, there's always room for improvement, but yeah, no, I'm happy enough with it, sort of thing. Yeah. Yeah. So.
It looks fairly straightforward when you're a spectator. You're just driving up and down the field.
That's exactly what I thought. I thought you turned up, dropped the plough in the ground, and just drove around in circles. No. No. It's there's a lot to think about. So it gets the brain really working, sort of thing, yeah.
Oh, definitely. And what kind of implements have you got here using?
Oh, so I've got an old Massey Ferguson 35 with an old Ransom's TS59 plough. So, yeah.
Any good?
Yeah, it's all right. Got the plough had to go to England for that. Couldn't get one over here.
Now, that's some investment.
Well, you know.
It must mean business.
Definitely. And there he is. He's a bugger, isn't he?
Has Colin been coaching you, has he?
There's a lot been, to be honest with you, Colin's one of the ones I'll listen to. There's a few people, you've got to work out who's giving you good advice and who isn't. Colin knows his beans, he's all right, Colin, yeah.
Oh, we'll let him off then.
This tractor came from about 200 yards that way. Francis Garnett, yeah, bought that off him, yeah. He pounced on me and made me buy it, so, and, yeah.
Everybody always wants a 35 though.
Well, they're the ones to have, aren't they, yeah. Classics,
absolutely lovely little tractors.
Thank you very much, yeah. Job's a good one.
So. Well, anyway, I suppose better let you get finished.
Right, better add, yeah. Time's marching on. Right,
thanks,
cheers,
Dave.
Kirree.
Well, Francis, I believe that you are the original owner here of Dave Corran's tractor. He thinks a lot of her.
Yeah, so I rebuilt it from scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what made you part with her?
Well, I've got too many tractors. I've got five tractors, so You can't sit on them all at one time, can you?
Well, this is it.
What?
But I think he's doing a fairly good job. 2 years into it.
Yeah, he's doing well. He's doing well.
It's hard to get the young fellas to come on board, is it?
Nobody around, is there? It's a dying trade.
Yeah, but the ones here today are having a good day out. The sun's shining.
Oh, better than yesterday.
Oh my golly, it wasn't it just. So how have you got on, Francis? You'll be one of the first fellas finished.
Yeah, I'm happy enough, yeah. Depends on the judges.
Who's judging you today?
I'm not saying. You can find out yourself. See the badges on the tractor.
Yep, I see. My goodness me. So you're an old hand at this job, Francis, but obviously got the accolades to show it up there on the tractor.
Tractor's been in Belgium and Holland ploughing. That's the last European match you've done. 2016, that was Holland, that was Belgium, 2012.
And how do you compare to the ploughing here on the Isle of Man to the ploughing matches there?
No comparison.
No.
They're doing 30 or 40 matches in a season, them fellas.
Yeah.
We're only doing about 10 or 12 at the most.
So it must be hard for you to only do a handful here and then to get away there and compete against them.
Well, it brings you on, helps you. You know what I mean?
And
Yeah.
how do you fare up generally?
Sorry?
How do you fare up against them generally?
Well, I've won a couple of matches, been second.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
That's some going, isn't it?
Well, you get some of the matches there's 200 in a 200 acre field.
My, what a sight that would be, wouldn't it?
You can't even see the other end of the field. Yeah,
No.
unbelievable.
So what about the coming season? Will you do a bit for the farmers round and about, or are you retired from all that now?
Retired, I got tired now.
Well, there we are. Well, thank you, Francis.
You're welcome.
That was Francis Garnett-Dorr, Dave Corrin, the newcomer, and Nicola and David with the horses.
And they've been great supporters with the horse because, you know, the match I was at Ballaquaggin there was plenty of tractors that day. I suppose it was the first one that has been for a while. But to see the horses out and Nicola and... you know, they've been keen to support it many times, haven't they?
Oh, they're fantastic. And to see the duo going up and down the field there in absolute harmony and so patient because it's obviously a tricky job what they're trying to do. But Nicola was saying she takes her one horse in particular off over to the UK to compete. And it's a big undertaking, that alone. But it's something she really enjoys. And the connection between man and beast there is just phenomenal to watch. I've got a little video that we can put on social media so everyone can have a look at these pair in working form.
Yeah, and you know, you always think of the horse racing where some horses, they're always worried about the going, whether it's soft or hard, aren't they? And I suppose the ploughing horses, the Shires, they've got no choice. They have to do every weather condition.
Well, that's it. Once upon a time, it was the only form of getting the ground turned over was horsepower. And obviously that's where it comes from when you hear the tractors with all these hundreds of horsepowers now. But what a job they did. It was equally as good as the tractor ploughman there. And it was a lovely turnout. Some of the tractors that were there on show, some vintage ones, some have been around Europe competing and all gleaming on a sunny day. It was a real sight, Simon.
You're listening to Countryside here on Manx Radio with Kirree Kermode and myself, Simon Clark. And just a reminder, it's been the subject in the past, hasn't it, of people out walking and getting exercise and getting the fresh air. But just, you know, when there's 20 or 30 people going through public footpaths and open and closing gates, it's just something they've got to be aware of, either wearing gloves or have the little sanitisers in their pockets, you know.
It's a busy time now, Simon, in the farm, in the countryside, with people starting to lamb outdoors. March is usually the starting point, so if people can be mindful of the gates and the areas they go, that would be really great. And also just to keep the dogs at bay as well. This time of year, it is really busy out on the farms.
One thing that was lucky to go ahead last year, it was one of the last events, I think, before last year's lockdown, was the 2020 which doesn't seem that long ago now, Isle of Man Federation of Young Farmers annual concert at the Gaiety Theatre. It's been a bit tricky, whether it's going ahead, whether it wasn't going ahead, and it's been difficult, I think, to get enthusiasm to the practices because I think people thought, it may not go ahead again this year. But as we're here today, it sounds like it all is prepared to go in a couple of weeks' time. And, I got the latest news from the Secretary of the Isle of Man Young Farmers, Bryony Neal. Well, first of all, Bryony, one of probably the last events that happened last year open to the public.
We were really lucky last year. We were the last production in the Gaiety before everything shut down. A week or 10 days later, I think it was. So we were all, big sigh of relief that we got everything in, just because of the amount of effort every member puts into the concert. So it was great.
What about this year? Because it's been up and down. We were clear, and then Christmas there was another lockdown. Mm-hmm. I mean, November, December is the time where the 4 clubs get cracking for the concert, and I suppose there was a bit of trepidation about whether it would go ahead and whether they would have practices, whether it was worth it because it's going to be put off or cancelled.
Yeah, definitely. It's been quite nerve-wracking really, just for, our committee side and then the individual committees for each club, just to try and get things going. They want to obviously follow all the procedures and everything that government put out in their guidelines and stuff. And they're doing their script writing, their choreography, so that it all takes time. So like you say, they do start sort of November, December time, and then January is when it really hits. And then of course we went into lockdown in January, so we were really in turmoil as to whether the concert was going to go ahead. Fortunately, all the restrictions lifted on the 1st of February, so we sort of got cracking and told everyone to carry on. Luckily they'd been doing sort of Zoom calls and this, that and the other between themselves, so they have been preparing.
There was lots of large mirrors bought, I heard, where people were practicing their lines and dancing in front of mirrors and sending videos of it to others.
Oh, I'm sure, mirrors or in the tractor cabs, anywhere they could get.
But that's been one of the traits. You talk to any of the young farmers from years ago who were involved in the farm and the concert, they didn't really have a lot of time to get practicing, and a lot of them were reading lines and listening to old tapes and cassettes in the tractors to get there. So it's a big effort to get it learn when you're working as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Every club is exactly the same in the fact that our clubs are made up of farmers, the most part. So getting everyone in one room to do like full run-throughs, for example, like we're doing at Northern at the moment, it is really hard because obviously they're farmers, they don't have a 9-to-5 job, so it's sort of working around them and doing times to suit them. But no, it all comes together and you can give them a script and fingers crossed they'll go away and learn it whilst they're milking the cows or in the cab. So it does all come together in the end, and all the blunders and everything just make it even better value entertainment, doesn't it, at the night? Yeah,
just got to ask you, did you get much comment back after the concert went ahead last year?
Yes, we did. People were really, really glad that it went ahead, and sort of fortunate because it is what people really look forward to. It, especially in the farming community, it's sort of a pinnacle in the entertainment calendar sort of thing. Everyone's just really grateful, and no
negative feedback.
Not really. No, we didn't have any negative feedback because some people, there was a bit of buzz before the concert about, it's getting close, should we go, should we not? But I think people were in the end glad that they did come because, like you say, we were the last sort of production there, and it was the last sort of thing that everyone was at and could get together, and it's always a good chance for the farming community and wider community to sort of catch up and see people they haven't seen in a while. And then we went into lockdown, and our chairman at the time, Finlow, sort of put out a statement, and we just sort of went from there, and everything we did then was virtual up until June, July time. So we were really fortunate, and we can only thank the supporters every year that come. It's the same people every year, there's new people every year, so we're just really grateful for their support.
And one of the things I think will make it even greater touch wood, if when it goes ahead this year, is the fact that it's been a difficult year for everyone. It's a difficult industry to be in farming as it is. Yeah. And a lot of the people, the older generation that go to the concert, it's probably only one of their 2 or 3 big nights out that they plan for the year. Yeah. And it's a big release for them to, I suppose, either get a mention or hear one of their friends get a bit of stick.
Yeah, definitely. Well, like you say, it's just a performance by people that you know, lots of people go watch it and they can spot, 10, 15 people that they know, and it's good value entertainment because they might get mentioned, or like you say, someone they know might get mentioned. And it is really something that everyone looks forward to. It's my 2nd year as secretary now, and I get so many people coming up to me to say like, oh, what's going on in the concert this year? We can't wait. When do tickets go on sale? It's just real, excitement about it. So fingers crossed we can give everyone, what they deserve and the entertainment that we usually do. If people aren't comfortable to come, that's absolutely fine. But if we get to put on a show, we can guarantee 3 really good, entertaining nights.
Well, you were there at the sea terminal when the tickets went on sale a couple of weeks ago. I mean, was a good camaraderie as always there? It
was amazing. Considering lockdown and everything, we were a bit sceptical as to whether there would be crowds there like usual. But I think the queue was longer than I've seen it in the last 5 years or more even. It went right down to the baggage reclaim and then into the terminal and did a loop round, and it was groups of people. It wasn't just single file. So it was amazing. The first people were there at 8 p.m. the night before, which is absolutely mental because it was freezing, but props to them. And then people there from 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and then a scutch of us from the committee went down at 4 a.m. to serve them tea and coffee until Costa opened. And yeah, it was just freezing, but it was so good. The atmosphere is always great, and we like to chat to everyone, see what night they're going, and they're trying to like squeeze information out of us about themes and concerts and stuff. But
say nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, tight-lipped, but no, it was great.
But one of the big things that people forget, it's a massive, massive money maker for charities, the concert, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. We're really grateful for the donations that people put in, the programme sponsors, just the bucket collections at the end of the night. And this year our Vice Chairman, Will Duggan, has chosen Reach IOM. So that's really, really great. A lot of people sort of relate to what they do. So, we hope to raise as much money for them as we have in the past.
And what about events in the future for the young farmers? Touch wood, if everything stays as it is. Obviously, there's a lot of events around this time of year coming up.
Yeah, there is competitions in the pipeline that we would like to introduce this year as well, to do with sports, inter-club competitions. We've also got our usual stock judging, which, different farms host for us. So lots on, always lots to organise, but there's also a few socials mixed in there as well, which we always welcome new people to come along to.
Secretary of the Federation of Isle of Man Young Farmers, Bryony Neal, and we've been lucky with the people involved in the Young Farmers Federation, the ones who we get the chance to speak to in the higher position. They've always been really enthusiastic and just want to promote this and keep everyone happy, which is nice.
They're a great movement, the young farmers, and it's for everybody. We must remind people of that. It's not just for the agricultural community. But they are always out striving to make as much money as they can for the charities. That's at the forefront every time. The fundraising events, the tractor pull that she mentioned there, a huge amount of money raised, and also the Young Farmers Concert. It's just an absolute sellout every year, and the humour is just great, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Anyway, if you've got anything for Countryside, you can send an email, countryside@manxradio.com, or you can leave a message here at Manx Radio for Kirree Kermode or myself, Simon Clark. We'll try and get back to you and got something for the programme. Events coming ahead, obviously, depending on what happens in the next few weeks, but as long as that's going ahead, we'll continue with the programme. So until next Tuesday at 6 o'clock from me, Simon Clark.
And me, Kirree Kermode.
We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.